cameras just right be a thing. So as I was thinking last night about what to talk about today, because you might be able to tell that I'm being a little bit more intentional about um our subject matter, really controlling um what we are talking about, because we are on a path to create, to do something that we've never done before. And as you are um, looking to create that new thing, that new business, whatever it might be, as you are working to do that, you are doing something new. You are becoming new. And so that in itself is an amazing feat for all of us. And what I'm finding out is that your dream, my dream, requires a new me. I can't be the same me that I was, I don't know, I don't even know, like this new me, new development of me is different, more disciplined, more focused, more on it. And the dream requires a new you and possibly new skills that help you to change everything, whatever that might be. So you really don't attract the life that you want by wishing harder. It's still the same. Okay. Wish hard, hard, wish. It doesn't work like that. You attract it by becoming the person who naturally creates it. Hey, Yellow Lotus, you become it by, you attract it by becoming the person who naturally creates it. You know, when I think about what is required of us, and I was thinking last night as I was outside on the road, pulled back up to the house about 4:06 this morning. And I'm like, I think the skill that I really need to get better at is is sales. And I don't particularly think this phone is on. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't think it was. Okay, here we go. Um, because everything is a sale. You are constantly selling yourself every time you get up, you get dressed. And your art, there's so many cues that you don't even speak. People are already thinking about you, talking about you, determining who you are by how you look already before you even say anything. And I'm just thinking, yes, sales, sharing, it still is it's a thing. And I know that in order for me to level, I want to level, I need to get a little bit more polished. And if I'm being honest, I don't naturally like it. If you would have asked me some years ago what I wanted to do, I would have said, I just want to heal people. I want to inspire people. I want to write books. I want to build a, a community. I want to help women. I want to travel. I would have never said, I want to become great at sales, sharing everything so that people can buy something from me. But what I realized driving home this morning, after another night, I'm picking up the trash. Everything I'm dreaming about, everything requires some form of sharing. Sharing with the, thank you, Jackie, sharing with the intent of somebody wanting to purchase something from me, whether it is a product or a service. Everything requires a sale. So the new me that I'm becoming requires a new skill. If nobody buys a ticket, the keynote doesn't happen. If nobody joins the cohorts, women never build the friendship. If nobody buys a rose, the movement doesn't spread. If nobody believes enough to invest, the healing house never reaches another family. It hit me. God didn't call me just to become a better healer. He called me to become someone capable of bringing healing to millions, and that requires skills. Every new level requires a new version of you. We all pray for more. We pray for more money, more peace, more purpose, more influence, more freedom. But here's the part nobody tells you. The old version of you can't manage the new life. Even the Bible says you can't put new wine in old wineskins, right? You want six figures? Gotta learn money, how to manage it. You want a healthy marriage, relationship? How to learn communication. You want business? Got to learn structures and marketing. You want peace? You got to learn emotional regulation. You want influence? You have to learn leadership, servant leadership. You want freedom? Learn investing. You want healing? Learn forgiveness. Every dream has a tuition. Sometimes the tuition isn't money. Sometimes tuition is just you becoming someone different. What skills have you been avoiding? I know it. What conversations have you been avoiding? What class have you been avoiding? What book have you been avoiding? What technology have you been avoiding? What fear have you been protecting? The person you are is perfect for where you are right now, but not necessarily for where you're going. And I don't say that to discourage you or me. I say that to free you because some of us keep asking, why isn't my life changing? Because you're asking for chapter 20 while refusing to become the chapter 20 you. You got to become the version of you that you need for the next chapter. If you are shy, your dream requires confidence. If you're disorganized, your dream requires systems. If you're emotional, your dream may require discipline. If you avoid conflict, leadership may require difficult conversations. If you hate selling, your purpose may require invitations. I've realized this week sales isn't really selling. Sales is serving, and we said that earlier, right? Serving and sharing, right? Sales is serving. Sales is helping somebody to make a decision for themselves. And that's all we want to do. We want to educate people so that they make the proper decision for themselves. That's it. And so when you talk about the law of attraction and how the law of attraction is connected to who you are becoming, the law of attraction isn't magic. It's alignment. It's alignment. You've been attracting differently because you're thinking differently. You speak differently. You notice opportunities differently. You make decisions differently. You walk differently. You literally become someone else. Hey, daughter. You literally become someone else. So use yourself. I was thinking, I'm an emotion code practitioner. Now I realize I'm building an ecosystem. That means I have to think like a CEO. I have to think like a marketer, a speaker, a fundraiser, a community builder, a leader. And I didn't know those things. Some things I am still learning. So now I say, I'm learning to be all of the things that's necessary. And beginners, we win too. We might be at the beginning, but we win too. I think sometimes adults are afraid to be beginners. And we're not really technically beginners. We are starting with the knowledge that we have right now. So we're not exactly beginners. But adults are afraid to start over, start something new sometimes. Children aren't they? Aren't they? Children will do anything. They will try anything. Children fall, they stand up, they fall again, they stand up, they ride the bike, they misspell words, they ask questions, they look silly. Adults, we want to look like experts immediately. But experts were once beginners who didn't quit. And right now, I'm learning AI, and that is very interesting of a role that I'm on. Learning AI, learning what sales looks like, learning fundraising, because the dream requires money. So this dream is requiring me to be someone new. We have to be this new version of ourselves in order for us to create the life that we want. And you know what the Bible says, you cannot put new wine in old wineskins. So you have to be made over. So I'm learning about speakers bureaus. I'm learning about media kits. I'm learning about marketing. I'm learning about creating this ecosystem. I'm learning something new every day. And yes, sometimes I feel behind, like, why don't I know this? And sometimes it feels just a teeny bit overwhelming. Sometimes I wonder if I could even do all of this. And then I remember every expert started exactly where I am. Every single one started right where I am. And then I remember too that as I move along, guess what happens? I get to hire people. I get to ask for help. I get to ask people to bring their genius to meet my genius. And we champion something together. And the question that came up for me, and I know you've heard this question before, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you learn this year? What would you do this year? If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that you could not fail, What would you attempt? What would you do? What's stopping you? What's stopping you? Your dream is waiting for you to educate yourself. Your dream is waiting for you. Somebody's next breakthrough is a book away, a mentor away, a certification away, a phone call away, a YouTube video away, a workshop away, one uncomfortable conversation away. Stop praying for doors you aren't prepared to walk through. Pray to become the person who belongs in the room and what it is you need to do to get in the room. I spent another night collecting trash, and I'm saying to myself, oh, just a little while longer. And what I realized is that while I was driving home, people may know me today as the lady who does all these things and collects trash at the same time. But one day they'll know me just because I never stopped becoming. Trash lady, healing architect, speaker, author, CEO, community builder, foundation builder. Those aren't separate people. They are chapters of the same woman, me. And maybe that's your story too. Don't be ashamed of chapter one. Don't be embarrassed by being a beginner. Don't resist becoming because the dream you are praying for is waiting on the version of you that is willing to learn. What if the only thing standing between the life you have and the life you dream about is one skill you haven't committed to learning yet? What if your future isn't asking for you to work harder, but to become different? Because here's what I know, your future is already looking for you. The question is, are you becoming someone your future can recognize? Now, I don't want you to leave here just inspired. I want you to leave here transformed. Today, write down one skill that your dream requires, not the skill that you already have, the one you've been avoiding. The, then commit to 30 minutes a day for the next 90 days to learn it. 30 days, 30 minutes for 90 days to learn something new. Because your dream isn't waiting on luck, it's waiting on your willingness to become. This is what we are doing. We are thinking differently, we are moving differently. Your dream may not require you to work harder. It may just require you to become someone you've never been before. And I have a feeling that you are beyond ready for whatever it is that God has for you. Go ahead, Hill.
First, I had just a comment about you as far as the sales part. That's like when you say that, that's unbelievable to even think about because it's like it's your aura, your essence, everything. Like I don't even know how you would have a hard time selling anything because a spirit and your presence, it amazes me because I feel like some people are just born with that. And when I see you and talk to you, I feel that. When you're here and you're talking to us, it's like I'm amazed that you would even struggle with that, that anybody would not give you whatever it was that you wanted because you present so well. And I just feel like they should just be handing it to you on a platter, period. And that's just my own humble. And the other thing I was going to say as far as the sales part too is it requires humility, um, vulnerability, because the ask part is I believe, probably the most challenging because it requires you to, you're either going to receive the yes or you're going to get the no.
Yes.
And I think a lot of times, I know I may sometimes get in my head and be like, I just don't want to hear that no.
Yes.
Want to hear that yes. And I'm afraid that that person is
Yes.
say no. But how about if they say yes? And then there's going to be somebody that's going to say yes. So why?
Yes.
I'll give you a perfect example right now. Like I'm literally, and it's been on my mind for months, you know, with me doing the reselling, I was like, oh, I should try to talk to like some of these little antique shops or different places that have booths and things like that to put the clothes in.
Yes.
But I have heard that you have to get put on a list, a waiting list to be able to get in there and pay rent and do all that. And I'm talk myself right out of it from doing it, right? Because I'm thinking, well, they're going to say, well, Hillary or Miss Roy or whatever. No, we're not going to do that because you're going to have to wait 2 years to get. Well, guess what? Favor may come, but how will I know if that favor comes without me asking for that?
Yes.
That's what happens. And I have to be humble enough to say, okay, they may not have me in there, but maybe another place will have me in there.
Absolutely. Yep. It's absolutely a skill to develop. Um, and I felt it this week as I'm working on another thing to transition myself, to free myself, to give myself even more freedom in my life to do the things that I love. And what I realized, and just like you said, every no brings you closer to the yes. We talked about that yesterday. 10 no's will bring you a yes. And I remember in my network marketing days, I don't know who said it, but somebody said we eat no's like Cheerios. So you take the no, you take the no, you take the no. I've done so much of these things already, but it needs to be um, more often, more often. There's something called the law of averages, and Myron Golden talks about these things all the time. He knows that he's eventually, good afternoon, he's definitely going um, to get the sale from somebody. He doesn't care who it is. He doesn't care if it's you or the next person. So he's not vested in your yes or your no. If you say yes, then you'll get the service or whatever it is. If you say no, he's just moving along to the next person. I'm like, I just want to be able to do that without taking it all personal. People can say no, it's all right. And no doesn't necessarily mean no. It just means maybe not right now. And people have a tendency to come back around once they hear more and know more and see more. And so I just been feeling that, and just I pulled out some Zig Ziglar books. Zig Ziglar was so amazing. I think I got introduced to him in my Amway days, and him talking about his sales and selling, was it knives or pots? I think it might have been pots, but whatever it was, he would go all the way back to the origin of the sale, with starting with the paper that the sale was written on. He talked about the man who cut down the tree, who milled the tree to turn the tree to paper, and he had to sell it to somebody, and then the paper had to be bought from by the printer who printed the order sheet. Like, he took it all the way back. And everything about our daily life is somebody had to sell somebody to somebody, something to someone, in order for us to even get where we are right now. Somebody sold you the internet, somebody sold you your phone, somebody sold you your computer. Like, everything that we have had to be purchased. You buy food every week, you buy your clothes, and some stuff is a soft sale, easy sale because it's what you need. But then some stuff a little bit more pulling to get you to do it. But that's the win. to realize that it's required. It's a part of it. And some things you don't even have to sell. You just have to show up. Just like Hillary said, sometimes people just walk up and say, "What do you do? And how can I be a part?" That happens to me too. But it needs to happen more often. I need to be in the right places. What we say every day, right people, right place, right time, right reason, that part. So when I think about the things that I've been avoiding and what feels uncomfortable is that making sales calls, sharing sharing calls, because you can tell where you are financially by two things. One, what assets do you have to sell? And two, how many calls are you having per week? Your calendar tells on you. If it ain't nothing on your calendar, ain't nothing happening. So, what could you get on your calendar that could help? I have a friend right now who sends out 300 direct messages a day. Then there are the people who dial for dollars. That's what they used to call it. Dialing for dollars. Sitting on the regular phone, just dialing, 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 right? And eventually, after dialing 100 calls, 200 calls, however many calls come through a day, eventually the sales are made. And Myron Golden said the reason why he loves the Bible so much is because the Bible is more about um, principle than it is about religion. And the principles work for anybody, no matter if you are Myron or Darlaina or you. The principles work for everybody. And so when we start applying the principles, we watch our lives unfold. Go ahead, Hill.
In my younger days, I worked at Red Cross
Mm-hmm.
part time to pay for school at Clark, Atlanta, man. Let me tell you something. That was the best experience I ever got. We used to call people off of with a whole almost like a phone book, asking people to donate blood. I did that for 4 hours. We had goals that we had to do every hour. We had to convince people to donate blood a certain number within an hour's time.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't make that goal, it was like, we would have be written up or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I remember just dialing, like you're talking about with dialing for dollars. We were dialing for people to give blood.
Yep.
And that you talk about like, and these people don't know you. And then you're trying to convince somebody to go have somebody stick a needle in their arm. And man, listen, everywhere we had a different location. But when I tell you the amount that it was like you learned the icebreaker,
Yep.
you learned how to set the goal, you learned how to get the results, you learned how to change the no to a yes,
Yeah.
all of those things. And that was when I was like in college, like my first and second year of college. I thank God that I had that opportunity. But all that translates, it can still be the same for whatever you're selling out here, whatever you're trying to do, even for a service. It's like that's just so you have to have the goal first.
Yep.
You got to have it. And then you have to train yourself to be disciplined and do it every day, okay, or however number of times a day, make those calls.
Yep.
But you get the results after you do. You really do. I didn't believe it at first because I was too scared. But
Mm-hmm.
it got me. I was shaky like crazy, having people hang up on me, cuss me out or whatever. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh my God. But
Yes.
when you got those yeses, it was like, you know what I'm saying? It was so exciting.
Yes. They say yes. They say yes.
Right.
So yeah, I remember I worked at a what do they call it? Telemarketing. telemarketing place, and it was the same thing. You had to do a certain amount of calls per hour. And then it was like after whatever it was we was selling, then you please hold while I put on my manager to complete the sale. And then they you move them through that way. But it definitely is that, and no matter what you are doing, it's going to require you to talk to people. The people are the ones who got your money in their pocket. And you have the answers to the things that are paining them. You have the answers to their pain points. So we need each other. So it is our job to make sure that we are doing the thing. There's somebody connected to your dream and to your gift that needs it. So we need to do our part. We need to, whatever it is that you need to do to get the word out, to tell whatever it is you need to tell, to share whatever it is you need to share. That is what we must do. And in that dream, realizing that it requires a new you, that skill that is necessary in order for you to elevate your life. And, I started with this, that we don't attract the life we want by wishing harder. We attract the life we want by becoming the person who naturally creates it. And that's it. That's it, and that's all. That's it, and that's all. Become who you need to become for your dream, for the new you, for the new life. Because when you start talking about, I'm going to be ridiculously rich, remember when you be talking about that? Who is the person that you need to become in order to know when to spend the money, when not to spend the money, when to invest the money, when not to invest the money? You got to become a new you. That was the Avon ladies in my neighborhood. I was the Avon lady too. And when I tell you I was the Avon lady, I was the Avon lady. When I tell you every Tuesday, it'd be 20 boxes delivered to my house. That was sales, Darlaina. Thank
See, 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 it oozes on you. It's oozing. You are already there.
my God, that was so sad. Oh my God, it was so easy though. It was all put together. Just you know how I did so much. I did so much in Amazon sales because I wasn't afraid to buy the marketing materials. I would buy hundreds of books because they didn't give us those books. We had to buy those books. I remember they came in packs of 10, and at least three of my boxes was just books. And I would just make sure that people got the books. I would make sure that people got the books. I had bought the books with the little baggies that you hang on people's doors. I hung them up on doors. I left them at the laundromat, doctor's office. Anybody who would let me leave it in there, I did. And that's how I did so well, because of the way I marketed. Thank you for that memory. That's perfect. Thank you. This is time. That's timely to remember that. That's very timely to remember that because, yeah, I did well. I did really well. So I'm just really grateful and excited for what we get to do. Does anybody else have anything to add before we go? Because, we got some things to build. We got the skills to build. We got some sharing to learn to do. And I'm really, really excited to do, because what I got is good. What I have is always good. It's going to serve your life, bring your life. It's just all going to do what it needs to do. So I'm just really extremely grateful for becoming new, for becoming the new person in the new wineskins, and being able to show up and show out for my community how God has told me to do so. So I'm extremely grateful and excited for that. So does anybody have anything they want to add before we go? I'm so excited. I gotta take a nap first though, but I'm excited for the day. I'm ready to seize the day for sure. And so I want us each and all, every one of us to do the same thing. Seize your day. Don't waste your day. Determine what it is that you need in order to become the person that gets to live that future for you. So, with that being
It
said,
seems like you're talking to me, but I'm so afraid to for the rejection. And um, I
that's the
used to
part.
sign up Mary Kay and
Yep.
Tupperware, and I didn't do any of those well. So now I'm saying I have a life and death situation that I'm really trying to convince people that they need to make changes. But I'm afraid for myself to really do that sales. So I know what you're talking about in the one end, but I think I know that that's the thing that's holding me back is I have to get over that fear.
And so, what you may do is, go to YouTube University and listen to people who are experts at that, see how they do it, see the best way to do it. You might just be a person that can leave flyers somewhere. You might be a person that can make a video or something, and it makes it easier when you just can start with things that are kind of hands off. A lot of times, talking to the cameras is easy. And so, talk to the camera and then share a video, or find somebody to make a flyer for you and post a flyer. Like it is a way in when people see those things first. So, there's always, where there's a will, there is a way.
There's a
And
way. Mom
absolutely will.
said,
And God knows that we are willing. We are willing for sure.
I try.
Shanette, do you want to do our prayer for today, honey? Um, because Dr. Long hasn't made it in today. Uh, Start with the presentation at the library, advertise there, your local one, advertise the course at a healthcare. I like that. I like that, Hill. Look at Hillary with the answers. Okay, 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 okay. I love it. Well, I am extremely thankful and grateful for each and every one of us. Please say a prayer for yourselves, because I'm going to say my prayer straight to my bed for a nice overdue nap. I appreciate you all. I will see you tomorrow. Same time, same station.